Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Definitely appreciate the support. We're going to get into another video. So, obviously I'm on a 26 game winning streak, 256 and 31. So, I've been pretty decent this year. A lot of my wins and everything was really when I had the run balance playbook. Remember I had that 40 game winning streak and then I lost one game and then I won like another 38 in a row. I think I'm just a lot more comfortable in the spread offense. But you see here, even with me picking like random teams, you're still able to win on regs. So that's why I had the video that I had, or the comment that I had asking for MUT stuff. Because I've been trying to seek, a more challenging venture, I guess you could say. Trying something different because I've heard that it's a lot more difficult in MUT. And it's kind of sad when you think of it in that regard, because it's probably only a little bit more challenging there because you got a lot more like glitchers or cheese type plays, or people working against the mechanics of the game. But I hate to say it, but I almost kind of enjoy playing against those people because I like to try to imitate real life defensive like concepts and stuff, and try to use that against what my opponent is doing. So if they're doing something cheesy, let's say, well, I don't even want to say cheesy, but something that doesn't really make sense, right? So let's say something like this, in this, in, and like this, right? This is like a route combination of a play you would never see in real life because it just doesn't make any sense. The routes doesn't complement each other. But if people are doing this and they're having great success with it, I like to play defense against that and run stuff that what would an NFL team, or what would a real team utilize to better defend against stuff like this? Now, looking at this, obviously, this is nothing really hard to deal with because it's stupid, but I hope you understand what I mean. You know what I mean? So it seems like it's more challenging to play against gimmicky players. Unless I played against a real true sim player. That's when it's really fun. You know what I mean? So anyways, enough rambling on that. He comes out in a formation like this, and I like to run cover 2 against wing type sets like this. And I like to use it as safety on the 2 tight end side. I've made videos on this. And the reason why I like to do that is because I like to bring the safety down and use it as player. So now we get more hats like in the box on this side. And yes, this is the outer shell of the coverage, but I'm just not really afraid of being stretched vertically by 2 tight ends. So what I do is, I'm looking to help out in the run. But at the snap of the ball, if it's a pass, then I'm reading 1, 2. And let's say 2 goes inside, then I get my eyes on 1. And if 1 goes inside, well, then that it allows me to do a lot of different things as a safety, because there's no point in me playing a deep half in that situation. There's no route attacking the deep portion of this field if both of these players go inside. So in that situation, that's when I travel the deep middle of the field, right? So we kind of condense down on the formation due to the routes, right? So there's a lot of different things. Maybe I can make a video on this. So I like to do this. I shift over here to greatly discourage a run going this way. It's harder for you to really run like counter this way. You really don't have a lot of runs designed like that in the game. Snap the ball. I'm looking at the tight ends, and the second I see him go inside and this guy traveling upfield, then I just like to play outside shoulder on this guy and squeeze it. Anyways, he almost throws an interception. So he was running the traditional mesh spot stuff. So then he goes bunch tight end. One of you guys asked, what do I do against 3x0 sets like this? I don't know why I should have just told you. I play cover 9 against this. I think I said I don't run into a lot of players that play this particular formation, but I should have told you when I do run into it, I play cover 9. I like the way it matches against it. I like the way it plays against it. And I took the safety on this side, brought him down. I'm really eyeing the tight end. When he goes inside, that allows me to be a lot more free, and I could have intercepted this, right? So we get a big hit, 3rd and 10, and we move on. So I don't think that this was an exciting game. I don't think a lot of great material came out of this game. And I hate to spoil it. I'm really not a great fan of the playbook of the Patriots. But again, everything's relative. So here, I like to play this mug front and then sometimes audible out. So now I'm in cover 2, just to kind of give my opponent a different look. And I just get right in the window of that middle throw, and we pick off the ball. You know, and then here's where I figure, you know, this might be like an easy game. So yeah, guys, I tried to check out that MUT stuff, and man, it just seems like you got to invest a lot of time in that, man. And that's just time that I just do not have. I would rather be able to just have my team ready, go in and play. You know what I mean? So I've noticed MUT requires a lot of time, you know. Now, I think I read some of you guys' comments. If you can put money forward, so I'm willing to do that. Just put money up and then buy my team. I'm willing to do that. So here I look at single back East. I like this formation with the 2 tight ends. I think you can do a lot of different things with this formation because we, you know, provide more gaps that the defense has to defend with the 2 tight end set. And then I like how we're running kind of like the arches concept here, right? So I'm like, you know what, let me pick it. I hope he's in double high. And sure enough, when I come out, I see this form alignment, and it looks strange. It looks like single high, but I've never really seen the safety align this way in single high. So this kind of confused me. So this is a concept that I like to do. One of you guys gave a great point, and it's probably why I love to play spread sets. You know, you said it's harder to disguise a defense when you are playing against a spread formation, and that's just so true. And maybe that's why I love to run spread sets, because I love to see what you're doing and then attack the weakness of the coverage that you are running. So what I decided to do in this particular situation, when I'm kind of confused a little bit, it looks like single high, but it's just a little wonky here. Well, why not motion into empty, right? So you'll see me do that here, and then now the defense is a lot more defined. Now I really know, okay, it's definitely single high. He shifts over, probably due to the balance of the formation being shifted a little bit more to this way. It's still 3-2, right? But he shifts over here, and the linebacker pans out. So now I know it's single high. Obviously, I don't want to work the arches concept here. I could work the curl over here, one-on-one, if a linebacker doesn't flare out. But I like to complement routes. So we have an out here. What can we turn this? This is where you kind of think, what can we turn this player into to stretch the curl flat defender? Well, how about a flat route, right? So now when he flares out, if he gets in the window of the deep out, because again, this is the outer shell of the coverage, really not too concerned about this guy. If he gets in the window of the out, I throw the flat. If he drives on the flat, well then I'm looking to throw that out, knowing that if they're in deep third corner, they're going to play a lot more conservatively on that route. And if it's man-to-man, then you just need to win. So I go on out, and now I'm eyeing the second defender in, and when I see him sit like that right here in the drop, I know I'm throwing the out. And look, as noted, this guy's playing pretty soft. We throw the out pattern. That's how we turn a nice gain out of nothing, picking a random play. He was in cover 3 seam. So I'm looking through the formations and the playbooks. Not really liking what I'm seeing so far, but I like this little stuff here. These are plays that play off of one another, right? We have the inside zone where we do run inside zone with the fake of the jet motion. And we can actually run jet sweep. And then I like this Yankee passing concept here, right? Very good against single high. So this would be something where you develop a scheme where, hey, if it's double high, I run inside zone with the fake jet. If we like the front, we can incorporate jet sweep. Second they get into single high, this is when we can run our PA jet sweep with the play action, right? But for whatever reason, I guess I decided to not get into that. And I have no idea why I chose. Oh, I know why I chose it. So if you guys don't know, I had a video that I dropped about attacking 2-man. So this is why I picked this play, because I was hoping he'd be in some type of man defense and I would attack with the play action. So I started incorporating into new plays that I would never run. I would never really run this play, but I'm like, hey, if he's in man-to-man defense, I can utilize the concept that I picked up on in my previous video. But I took the video down for a bit because I had a minor oversight in the video that I need to clear up. Okay, so that's why some of you guys asked what happened to the video that you dropped, because it was up for like 5 minutes and you took it back. Obviously, I rewatched my videos and there was something in there that I wanted to correct, Because I noticed when I went into the practice field in that video, I went under rookie mode, and I didn't know that I always go in all Madden. So now I got to retest the concept against all Madden, right? So that kind of pissed me off that I missed that. So anyways, it doesn't look like he's a man-to-man defense. I flipped the play, I motioned him out, and we get nothing really exciting there. I just go ahead and get rid of the ball. Never be shy about throwing the ball away. Okay, there's nothing worse than trying to force a ball in there and, you get an interception or a really bad play. These are plays that I would love to run, but, it's kind of ruined because inside zone split in the game is horrible. It's not coded right. I like this stuff here. See, this is what I like about this playbook so far. They have a lot of plays that kind of complement one another. So, again, we have the same deal, and we're just running it from a different formation. Right, and this would be something good against single high. This is from I think I went over shallow cross, or what Alex Byrne claims it's called Frisco under Chiefs. Who knows? It might be shallow cross. One of you guys noted that, but this is kind of the same. It's not shallow cross. Again, I gotta throw that in there. Gotta be quick with this. This is not shallow cross, but the backside component of shallow cross in the plays that I'm speaking of. They would have this little corner stop with someone going to the flat, and then they would run shallow cross with it, right? So I like the corner stop with someone going to the flat, because if it's single high, like cover 3 or cover 1, then we're working this side, right? So I believe I selected PA jet sweep, and I didn't get the coverage that I wanted, right? We got double high. Or it looks like he was disguising coverage. So this is where I just check in the inside zone. And inside zone is the very first thing that I think you should learn as far as running the ball, right? This is the play side. Left tackle, is someone on your play side gap? Yes. Is someone on your play side gap? No. So then he works backside, and this is where we get our double team. I think we're supposed to peel and get this guy, and he's going to step to the second level and get this guy. And this is one of the other horrible things about Madden. Our left guard, completely whiffs on this guy, right? So he's a little late coming off, and now he's out leveraged inside. So thankfully, my opponent decided to go for a swim. I don't know what he was doing. We were able to get 8 yards there. Okay, there's the play right here. So this is the play I was just speaking of. You see how we got the same concept here? The corner stop with the flat, and this is the shallow cross deal that I was speaking of. Okay, so I just love this reduced split corner stop route with the flat coming out. I just love stretching flat defenders in cover 3. However we can do that, I love to do that, because you just kind of make it to where they're never right. So I picked the play, and of course we get double high. So I probably checked out into, okay, I run. Look, it's 3rd and 2, and I know it's inside zone. This is like the easiest first down ever, right? You don't even have to snap the ball, and you already know what's going to happen. You block him. Is there anyone play side? No. Step backside. Okay, look, we get a double team here, and there's not even a backer to peel off to get, so we can hold this double team forever and just get the easiest first down, right? You see how they just hold that double team? Like, that guy can't do anything, right? Because he's just not in the box with his defenders. He's playing cover 9. So I'm going through. I'm kind of underwhelmed on the playbook of the Patriots. Not a big fan. This might be the worst playbook that I've used. So I didn't like the look. I check into a quick play, and then I motion into empty. One of you guys asked the question, why? So there are plays where you run something on this side that attacks double high, and something on this side to attack single high, stuff like that. Maybe like combo type plays. And I remember one of you guys asked, well, why would you want to run something? Because I'm going to do something different. I'm going to check into the dragon on the left, okay? So this is good for single high, and we're running the stick type concept on this side, which is also good against single high. And you ask, well, why would you run something good against single high on both sides of the field? Why wouldn't you want to have something good against double high on one side and good against single high on the other side? Well, if we know you are in single high, then why not fully stretch the field by running something like this as opposed to running lion, right? This would be something you would want to run against double high, the lion concept, right? But if I know you're in single high, then I might as well check into a full field single high beating concept. And then we just work off of a spacing, right? So this player here really dictates what side of the field I'm going to work. Okay, if he's leaned more to this side, let's say he's over here, then we're just operating off of this player, knowing that there's no way this guy can make it into the window of the slant if he chooses to drive on the flat, right? But if he's more over here, well, then we have a numbers advantage over here, right? Because then there's 2 defenders with 3 routes. Now, I'm going to make a mistake here, and this is the problem with me in this game. You know, I've gotten to the point to where I'm kind of complacent, or maybe that's the wrong choice of words, but I get kind of lazy at times. You guys know when I run this concept over here, I like to put this guy into a comeback pattern. So I can get like a real triangle read, right? But I left him into the go pattern, and it's probably because I was dead set on throwing the dragon concept. And we're going to see something that transpires here. Snap the ball, and look, this is the problem. He immediately widens, right? So now, instead of us being 2-on-1 with this player, we're actually kind of 2-on-2 if he drives with the flat and he gets in the window on the slant, right? So now we kind of can't throw that side. When I saw this guy fly over here, I didn't want to throw that, right? But can you imagine? This is a perfect example of having a full read, single high beating concept on this side and the same on this side as well, right? Because I could have saw this, now got my eyes over to here, and guess what would have been open? That comeback pattern over there, right? So I kind of forced this one. I threw down into the outside. But that was a prime example of it would have been better had I have put him on a comeback, and then obviously we have a full single high beating type concept on both sides of the field. Because he overlaps and brings the numbers back in their favor on this side, and we could have worked this side 3-on-2 with me running my comeback pattern. We get like a triangle read, right? So I could have threw this out, but again, it's very hard to be reading something like this and then get your eyes back and throw the out, right? Because they're running routes to where they break off kind of at the same time, right? It's so much better to be reading this side. Okay, it's not good. Now reset and get your eyes on this side, right? And that's when the comeback kind of breaks open. So all that talking and incompletion. So I knew that this was cover 3 cloud based upon the pre-snap alignment, and I was wrong. I think he checked out of that. So he was doing a lot of cover 1, base align, disguise, jumping around. It seemed like he was audibling, so I was kind of confused a little bit. And that's when, I like to go to more progression reads. So that's why I picked this play, right? I really don't have to read the defense. Single high, this is what we want, so we're going to run this play. And you kind of go through a progression, 1 to 2 to 3. And lo and behold, I make a mistake on this play. I played horribly in this game, right? So we like this. You notice how they were on the LOS pre-snap, but we motion into this stack look, so it's harder for you to get hands on the receivers. So, that's what I like about the pre-snap motion. But at the snap of the ball, he still gets hands on them, but he still has a little bit more room to kind of get open. So I don't know why I didn't throw. It's probably because I saw him kind of sit, and I was afraid he was widening. So my eyes was on 2 now, right? But we see 1 is just wide open. So it's not a problem with the play. It's a problem with the guy running the play, me, right? So I threw it right into 2 defenders. And, this guy actually broke open as well on the corner route. So I took the worst of the 3 options because he's open and this guy's wide open, right? So the play is fine. The quarterback is horrible, right? So I don't know what that second defender in was doing because it looked like, that's what I don't like about Madden. Because he widened and then he's like, all right, let me go in for the quarterback. I don't even know what he was doing, right? So anyways, I've been tinkering with a new way to attack tight slots, because I like to add to my repertoire in defending different formations. I don't have problems against this formation at all, okay? But I'm like, what, let me add to it. So I started messing around with 2-4 double mug with these safety pre-snap movement plays with the pressures. And you see how I base aligned right when he started moving, so he turns back. I can't remember if I base aligned or I did something else. But I like this because then he will move a little bit further into the quarterback's cadence. You see that? So it doesn't start off with him in this position. He kind of comes a little bit later, right? So we do that. He snaps the ball. He throws into the flat. Good job by him. But again, football is all about throwing jabs, not haymakers, right? So when a player makes a completion like that, it's just not a big deal to me, right? And then he goes no huddle. This is the game I want to play, because I'm going to show the same look, and then I'm going to check into something else to try to confuse you, right? Let me turn this down. So look, I checked out right there. So he rotated down, and then I checked into cover 2, and I'm holding this player here, knowing that I'm responsible for the deep half. But I want it to look like single high. And it does. It looks like single high. And now I'm reading the departure of these receivers. And when the outermost receiver comes inside, there's no point in me playing deep half. I can kind of squeeze on that route. Obviously, it seems like he was confused and he throws an interception. So this is where I started playing like dumb. Because I'm like, oh, I'm just going to win this game anyways, you know. So I'm just going to do anything. So I check into the same play. And again, I should be reading 1 to 2 to 3. And I didn't do it. I actually worked the other side, the curl flat on that side, and I made the wrong read again. So I was playing pretty poorly in this game. I go no huddle. And I believe here is where I make the right decision finally. 1. Okay, that's just wide open, right? Outside shoulder. And look, on a simple throw like that, we get a pretty nice game. So my opponent seemed to love single high. And you know I'm just playing around when I get down into the red zone. And I decided to throw a fade pattern, something that I have not really practiced in the game. So here, when I see this, you know, I'm always a theory guy, okay? In theory, with you inside leverage on the LOS, you know, I really do like the fade here, right? No help, right? Whenever you play in the red zone and you see the corner with inside leverage here, rest assured it's some type of man-to-man coverage. It's definitely not zone. Okay, because if they're in cover 2 zone, he would never play with inside leverage like this. He would play with outside leverage to reroute him inside. Obviously, to have help to the inside. But defense always plays to their help. As a man-to-man defender, I don't know if he's blitzing or not, but his help is the sideline, so he's going to play to his help and play with inside leverage. So quite naturally, I'm like, well, let me throw the fade. Well, yeah, I haven't practiced it, but I'll try it anyway. I don't care. You know, that's the way I figure I'm probably going to win anyways. So let's try it out, right? And here's where we get like an unrealistic animation, in my opinion. Snap the ball, throw the fade. In real life, this would never happen, and you're going to see it right here. You see that? That's just so unrealistic. That would never happen. Throwing the fade is so, to me, low risk, high reward behavior. All right? Because in that situation, the corner, he doesn't know where the ball is, and he has to play his man. Right? So when they turn their head like that, that's where you can get a lot of back shoulder throws. You kind of put the ball wherever you want, because you're really unafraid of him making a play on the ball, at least intercepting it, because he can't see where it is. The player isn't going to magically warp around, jump up, and just know where the ball is. It is impossible, right? And that's one of the things the Madden developers claimed that they got rid of in this year's game. I believe they had it written in the notes before the game dropped, that they got rid of corners being able to make like ghost interceptions like that. And lo and behold, it's still in the game. So maybe I read it wrong, who knows. Anyways, I picked this play, and I figured it's either 2-man or 1-man. And if it's 2-man, I want to throw my guy inside. So I motion him out, so I know what I'm doing here. I'm reading this safety here, right? I know it's some type of man-to-man coverage. If he goes to deep half, well, now I'm looking to attack this guy. You need to win inside. However, if he drops down or plays deep middle, well, now we are working our fade pattern here. So we're post-snap reading that safety. And when he does that, now immediately my eyes are here. Right? We need you to win inside, and right here we see, okay, he's inside, he's won. Give him a little bit more time. And we get a big first down. So, again, okay, so here's an example. So, look, this is an example of just poor play calling, okay, on my opponent. So, I picked the sail concept because I want to work more to the outside because we only have 21 seconds left in the second quarter, okay? And here's a little nugget, guys. You guys know pre-snap reading 422031, right? Well, if it's double high, it's 422 or 0. However, there are plays that disguise its intentions, and cover one robber is one of them. And right here, this is where I felt like this might be cover one robber. And the reason why I can tell is because, yes, it's double high, but in cover two zone, they're playing with outside leverage, so it's not two zone. It's not cover 0 due to the alignment of the safeties and them being further inside, right? It's not cover 4 unless he's playing cover 4 press, so I thought that was pretty unlikely here. So it's got to be two-man, right? Well, the problem is they're not playing with inside leverage. It doesn't look like it, right? So when you pick cover one robber, they do show the too high safety deep look, but when they play on the line of scrimmage, they're not playing with inside leverage pre-snap. And that's a great tell for you to know, okay, it's cover one robber. And the reason why is because in cover one robber, you still want to play to your help. This corner's help would be to the inside with the robber player and the deep middle safety. This player's help would be the sideline. But for whatever reason, I don't think Madden has it to where they play with inside leverage when playing cover one robber. You would have to do it yourself, unless I'm incorrect in that. But for whatever reason, I thought this was cover one robber. So again, I was going to look at the safety post snap. If he comes down at all, well, then now I know that this guy has no help, right? So that's what I was hoping for. I'm like, why would you pick that with 21 seconds left to go in the second quarter? If you're going to do this, you would want to bail the corners, at least in my opinion, because someone can lose at the LOS. So right here, when he goes inside like that, I know, oh, wow, cover one robber, right? And I saw this, and he lost. Give him some time. Deep outside shoulder. And we get a touchdown with 14 seconds left to go in the second quarter. That's just a poor play call. I don't know if that was cover one robber. I think it was. Yeah. So not an exciting game by any means. Probably one of the most boring games. Here I decided, hey, let me go with Pat Sale. Okay. And I think I love this against single high because he could run off the corner and then we high-low the curl flat player. But this is where I thought of something here, okay? Obviously it's single high, so we like the look. But pay very close attention to the safety. If you're the safety, where's the passing strength of the formation? It's over here, right? So you will see the deep middle safety and single high, they will kind of lean more towards the passing strength because it's more of a threat over here. So what does that mean for our backside routes? Well, it's a little bit more space for you to attack on the backside. So yeah, a post theoretically is not very good running into the deep middle of the field with the middle of the field closed. But with a formation like this, we can kind of force it to where we kind of get a little bit more space to throw this ball, right? So this is what I was looking for on this play. I was looking at that deep middle safety. And I'm like, you know what? I could probably throw this post. And right here, when I see him kind of leaning more this way, I'm like, hey, I can throw this. Right? The problem is we have a left tackle who did not want to show up for this particular play. So I was pissed, and I'm like, let me run it again. So on that play, you can rewatch it. He didn't even touch him. Snap the ball, and look, the safety is kind of leaning more towards this way. And look at the window here. Right? So, I mean, this is where you can manipulate defensive coverage with formation alone, right? I don't know if you noticed, but if you had a formation where you have a 2x2 set, and they're playing deep middle safety, and you motion this guy over here to a 3x2 set, 3x1 set, I believe the safety will kind of shift over this way as well. Okay, again, because there's more of a threat on this side, so they kind of want to favor, even though they're a deep middle safety, they want to favor to where the numbers are. So we kind of open up more space for our backside post route. So I decided to throw it. Of course, our quarterback makes them like a horrible throw, but we'll take it. So that's a good play against single high from that formation. We can attack backside post. If we don't like it, let's say the safety decides to hang backside, then we can work our overload side with the the flood type concept. Here is where I decided to mix in an exotic type pressure, cover 2. This would be what I call a cover 2 creeper while running cover 2 match. I made a video on this. So a creeper is where you send a rusher at the quarterback from the second or third level, so like a linebacker, a corner, or a safety on a blitz, but then you maintain the integrity of the structure, the integrity of the defense on the back end by taking a first level defender and rolling them into the coverage. I hope I said that right. Okay. So in other words, we are still rushing 4 players, but we're not rushing the traditional front 4, right? So, I mean, you may look at this and say, well, you're still rushing 5. So how is this a creeper? Well, we're going to take one of these blitzing players and we're going to do the responsibilities that we do in 2 match. Remember, in 2 match, we relate to the number 3, right? So I made a video on this. Definitely go check it out. I've gotten so many interceptions with this concept. So I'm going to take this player who's supposed to rush and I'm going to relate to the number 3, right? And it plays out just like 2 match, and we're rushing 4 players, right? So look how we get someone coming right off the edge and he has nowhere to go. And we get a sack. So I believe this would be one of the end of the video, I think, where I was running the house concept on this side of the field and I was looking to attack double high with our routes here, okay? And I had a feeling he was in cover 1 robber again. And again, I'm just going to read the safety on this side. If he comes down or if he goes deep middle, now I know it's single high and I'm sticking with the house passing concept. If he plays deep middle, then I know it's double high, and then I'm working these 2 routes here. Very simple here. And right there, I mean, right here in the drop, it's crazy how the second the ball touches the quarterback's hands, you already know what side you're working, just based upon the movement of a player, right? So get good with that, because you'll get a lot more comfortable in a lot of different passing plays, right? So now I know I'm working this side. I'm not going to throw the hitch because he's pressed up against that. I think traditionally in a lot of house passing concepts, with some teams, I would imagine that if you get a press look like this, they probably want you to just convert to a fade, but who knows? So, okay, he's torched right there, right? That's an animation where you know he's beat. So now I'm just kind of buying a little time, throw outside shoulder away from the safety, and we go ahead and take it down. So I think that will be it. Not a lot of interesting stuff here. I believe here I'm like, look, I want my fade pattern, right? I do this a lot. I just got to go in the practice field and practice it. I just haven't done it yet. You know, I've been just practicing on 2-point conversions in the game. And I've hit on a lot of these, but on a lot of these I haven't. Because again, I got to go to the practice field and lap it up, right? But I think this is a weapon you have to include in your game to better your red zone offense, right? If you have an offense that only attacks from here to here on this part of the field, it's easier to defend you, right? But if we get down to this part of the field and we're capable of throwing any and everywhere, including outside with the fade pattern, right, then you can't just defend the middle of the field. It makes it harder for teams to defend you, right? So I think I threw it a little late there, but it is what it is. So we go ahead and take that game down. I hope you guys found a boring video somewhat exciting in certain parts. If not, I hope you stick around for another video, and I hope you keep coming around, man. Peace.